stepping up. Now it is my honor to introduce our special guest speaker of the evening, Paige Haddy. Paige received her bachelor's degree in sports entertainment and event management from Johnson & Wales University in Providence, Rhode Island in 2011. She's currently the director of Mobius Connect, which is a professional learning and development community for engineers all around the world. Paige is a BRCA2 Previvor. She underwent a prophylactic double mastectomy in December of 2019, and she is now an advocate for women's health and cancer prevention. Paige's passion projects include supporting the American Cancer Society and serving as an ambassador for the other organizations that are tied to breast cancer. In her spare time, Paige enjoys spending time with her fiancé, Jay. They got engaged 5 months ago. Give them a round of applause. She also likes to hang out with her dog, Ziggy, and her cats, so cutely named Avocado, Basil, and Taco. Paige loves to dance, she loves Pilates, and always loves to catch a sunrise and collect seashells out on Sanibel. Please give your undivided attention and welcome to the stage, Paige.
Hi, everyone. So, hello. I am Paige Haddy, and I'm a BRCA2 Previvor, and I'm here this evening to share with you a little bit about my journey. So, my journey, as the universe would have it, runs in tandem with my mom's, which is fitting only because she's also my best friend. She had a routine mammogram in 2018. And we came to find out that she then had breast cancer, and soon thereafter found out that she carried the BRCA2 mutation, which, despite the fact it was quite a surprise to us because we don't have a known family history of breast cancer. So since the moment that we found out that she carried the mutation, there really wasn't a doubt in my mind that I also carried it as well. And genetic testing would later confirm that I did, in fact, also carry the BRCA2 mutation. So here I was facing a massive crossroads in my life. Do I choose to carry on with surveillance, hoping that if I got cancer, that it would be discovered early enough to treat, or do I choose to have a prophylactic double mastectomy? If I choose surveillance, my lifetime risk of breast cancer remains at 83%. And the hope is that if I get cancer, that it would be found early enough to treat, while if I opt to undergo surgery, a prophylactic double mastectomy, my risk of breast cancer decreases from 83% to 4%. So that seemed like a pretty straightforward choice to me, but little did I know also that the American Cancer Society actually funded a researcher who, as a part of a consortium, released results of a study indicating that prophylactic bilateral total mastectomy, precautionary surgery to remove the breasts, substantially reduced the incidence of breast cancer among women with the mutations of BRCA1 and BRCA2. This research, almost from 20 years ago, gave me a course of action. I knew the pathway that I wanted to take before ever stepping foot in a doctor's office, but I needed to educate myself and really see the process through. So a part of that included a psychological assessment to ensure that I was a good candidate for the prophylactic surgery. So I'll share with you guys what I shared with my medical team. I've been planning events since I was 14 years old. My mind is professionally trained to have a plan A, B, C, D, and room for plot twists along the way. My outlook was this: I can't control if I get cancer someday, but in this particular instance, I'm blessed with the opportunity to have input about my level of risk. 83% versus 4%. My decision was made. So fast forward to December of 2019, I'm at my pre-op appointment for my prophylactic double mastectomy, and something suspicious was found in my scans. I can't really explain to you the feeling of waiting between those pre-op appointments and my surgery, not knowing if I was going to come out of that a Previvor or not. And I just prayed throughout that process that my mom wasn't going to have to tell me that I had cancer when I woke up from surgery. And thankfully, she didn't. As reported by my doctors, my cluster of cells was not yet cancer, but it was most certainly on its way. So my surgery was successful, and now my job was to prepare for my reconstruction surgery in a few months. That was scheduled for March of 2020. March of 2020. Remember when I mentioned plot twists earlier? So March of 2020 was quite the plot twist for all of us, and needless to say, my reconstruction surgery was delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So with the extra time came additional questions. What do I do if the hospital delays non-emergent surgeries again? Or even more so, what do I do if my surgery happens, but I have to go through with it by myself and maybe nobody can come with me to the hospital? On contrary to my first surgery, where my entire family was at the hospital with me, this one would no doubt be really different, especially since my mom wasn't going to be able to fly in from Seattle to be with me. So thankfully, again, my reconstruction surgery successfully took place in June 2020, and my fiance was able to be there with me. And although my mom wasn't able to physically be there with me, she was most certainly there with me in spirit in a role that I like to refer to as virtual caretaker. So prevention and early detection are pillars of the American Cancer Society's mission. And during the pandemic, these pillars are more important now than they ever have been, with the rate of preventative screenings and mammograms decreasing dramatically. In part, I think because we're scared to be alone. You know, finding out that you have a genetic mutation, finding out that you could have cancer, going through treatment, testing, hearing results all by yourself is terrifying. So why not hold off until the pandemic settles and things become safer? Well, when it comes to my mom and I, at least, a few weeks would have dramatically changed the course of our lives for the worse. So in closing, not only did my mom's routine mammogram save my life, but the knowledge of my genetic mutation will also help me to help my future children as well. And this is in part thanks to the scientific breakthroughs of the American Cancer Society's funded researchers. This leads me back to one of the primary reasons why I chose to have a prophylactic double mastectomy. And no, I'm never going to be able to breastfeed my future children. No, I'm never going to regain sensation in my chest, but I gained so much more. I gained time with my future children. I gained time with my family. I'll be able to be present at life events. So at the end of the day, that was my outlook and how I felt. So throughout my journey as a BRCA2 Previvor, I've been so honored to support the American Cancer Society through events like this one here tonight that is so critical to providing funds to continue the fight against cancer, even more so now during the pandemic, so that more people can say that they're cancer survivors and previvors like my mom and I are. So your presence here this evening shows an amazing strength in community, and we have an amazing opportunity to join the American Cancer Society this evening in leading the fight for a world without cancer. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much for everything that you're doing for this community, and thank you for having me here this evening. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Oh, thank you.
Paige is so humble, but please, again, think about that for a moment. When so many of us were locked in our homes, so afraid of a virus, she had to be brave, and she had to think about big life decisions, and she went and had surgery. So please give her one more round of applause. You killed it, Paige. You did great. You can relax.